Well, everyone, welcome to the Color of Skin art exhibit. My name is Michael Kraft,
Hey,
and,
my name is Andrew Maisonette.
and we're your hosts tonight for this great art exhibit that we have curated with our good friend Lisa D'Amico. So we're very excited about all of the uh, entries and the artists, and we urge you to check out the 78 artists on the Inside Small website. And Andrew.
And we're very excited for this theme in general, just because it's such a amazing um topic that we got to cover with so many different variations, so many different meetings. The color of skin is very open to interpretation, but for me, it's about just the human experience and just coming together and just being able to kind of seeing how we can just take that form of just like whether it's skin pigments, whether it's the human body, whether it's just different bodies of work in general, and just kind of create something wonderful and awesome with it.
And this
And I
is a
have to say,
wonderful and awesome exhibit, isn't it?
yes. And as a photographer who does shoot a lot of the human form, it was wonderful to be able to be in to enter my work into something where I didn't have to worry about what I was entering. And I'm hopefully everyone else that is in the show feels the same way, since Instagram and Facebook usually takes us down.
It does a lot. Yeah, I got shadow banned the other day. I'm like, cool.
You haven't made it until you've at least lost two or three Instagram accounts. Hello, I'm on
Of
my.
course. Okay, great.
So, are we ready for our guest speaker?
Yeah, we are definitely. Who would like to introduce our wonderful guest speaker?
Great, cool. I'll do the honors. So I would like to introduce our guest speaker, art curator Dick Burrows, a Brooklyn-based art curator, writer, and DJ. He is a creator of a highly successful touring exhibition, Cover Lover Remix, which pays homage to the power of album cover art and provides a platform for emerging artists. He has curated exhibitions at the Bushwork Open Studios, Sensei Gallery in Manhattan, and Corridor. I can't read today. It's been a thing. Curador Gallery in Brooklyn. You can find out more about him and his upcoming projects on Facebook and Instagram.
Dick, just unmute yourself, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
How about that? Can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yep.
but I can't hear you guys. Can hold on.
Oh, we
Uh
hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, we
oh,
hear
there
you.
you go. Okay, good. So thank you guys for inviting me to speak at this virtual, what would you call it, an artist talk or creators talk? Hello?
It's a
Am I
reception.
good?
It's an art reception.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We hear you.
And okay, good. So yeah, so it's a reception. Yes. Thank you very much for inviting me. I've always appreciated the opportunity uh to speak to artists, and it's really funny how the internet allows you to reach people without them having to leave their homes. So I'm always appreciative of these virtual talks, and thank you guys, and thank you, Lisa, for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. Oh, why is my thing? I really don't. Although I love technology, I have a little love hate with it because it keeps acting weird sometimes. I mean, yeah. So right. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I appreciate it.
We are so honored to have you here. Thank you for speaking.
Yes. Now, I know that group shows are challenging, um, but it's also sort of it gets easier when you wrap a very sort of specific theme around it. So thematic group shows are infinitely easier if the theme is easy for someone to understand and for them to participate. So when it came to, skin and skin color, I thought that was very interesting because we're in a very sort of political climate now where skin color has a lot to do with a lot of things, and then how we all sort of engage with people through skin color. I think that's and especially when you do it in a 10-inch work. And I think small works is really funny because it could sound like it's easy because it's small, but the need to sort of put a lot of visual power into, because it's easy to get powerful when you have huge work, right? Because the work in itself, size-wise, helps create the power. But when you have to do a smaller piece and sort of still put that into the air, I really appreciate the fact that you got 78 artists to really wrap their heads around what it means for skin color and to present it in a small scale size. Any questions? You guys got questions for me?
Dick, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. So you are a curator that I admire, and that's why
thank you.
we selected you to speak today.
Thank you.
I think the audience would really appreciate your advice as a curator, because the audience is filled with up-and-coming artists, established artists. All artists are always looking for new ideas and new ways of expanding themselves creatively and professionally.
Well, I think, again, like I was saying in the beginning, that the internet has sort of given this opportunity to people to really get their work out to the world. I remember just coming up when I was young, the Manhattan gallery scene was a rite of passage for people because, you were 16 and 17 and you could go and get yourself a little bit of wine, right? And you could sort of get yourself immersed into, the art world. And, that was my beginning of just being in the art world, was just going as a patron, as a youngster. But now, as we are sitting here clearly in 2024, I think that one of the ways, I really do like how the power of people collaborating, right? Because collaborative effort will lead you further than singular effort. I know when I first began to curate shows, I did it at this place called Sputnik, which was a bar and a gallery in Clinton Hill. And it was really kind of funny because it was a space that, although it was a gallery, it really wasn't programmed, which was great for me because when I came in here, I really kind of didn't have a clear-cut view of what I wanted to do, but I was also DJing there. So just based on my ability to play good music, I think that the owner was like, okay, if you play that kind of good music, you probably wouldn't know what you're doing in art, although I had really zero experience, but I didn't know a lot of artists. So I called a bunch of artists that I knew, and it was a mixed media show. It was, not just paintings, it was a lot of photography as well. It was a few pieces of sculpt work, which is really interesting when you start curating for sculpt work, because it has a whole different level of engagement, of how you are seeing it. It's kind of a little more in depth, but flat work, is a little, so if you are a sculptor out there, know that your work might take a little longer to really get into shows, because you gotta, a lot of times artists, curators don't really, even though they say it's a mixed media show, often enough full on sculpt work isn't all the time included within it. So if you're a sculptor, you just got to stay at it. You got to stay at it. You have to, like, you know, get around like-minded people who do sculpt work. And then also, you know, you have to cast your net a little wider, because not every curator, not every gallery is really, you know, up for showing sculpt work, because first of all, it eats up a lot of space, you know, and it cuts down on, especially if it's a group show, it cuts down on the amount of artists and the amount of work that's in that show. But I would say, just as a sort of emerging artist, you know, one of the things, like I said, is to do some collaborative things, because in the sort of modern era of, you know, because there's two types of, like, when you have a show, you can have a show where you're really clearly just really trying to display, right? Maybe the main goal isn't really sales, because, you know, you could invite your friends on social media, but those friends aren't necessarily patrons. Although if you have a low price point and the entryway to buying your work is low enough, then your friends can be patrons. And that's a really sort of good way to start, obviously, with your friends. But you have to kind of like hone down on the thing that sets you apart as an artist. Like the thing that is very makes you the one of one artist, and you have to let that shine through in your work. You definitely have to, I think, and it's hard when you send out to galleries, it almost sounds like you're screaming into the void, right? Because a lot of times, you know, galleries, they won't even reply, right? You don't even get a reply back. You know, some feedback is always awesome, but, you know, galleries sometimes are too consumed with who they already have, unless you send in something that A, completely blows them away, or B, you come in through someone who's already connected with that gallery, you know, because, you know, friends of friends, you know, always get great looks when it comes to art gallery work. But one, you know, getting collaborative and sort of like getting together with artists, and like how you guys have done this, get together with artists, get together and just curate, I believe, curate your own shows, first of all, right? Because it's not that difficult now, in a sense, where you could do it virtually. You can also, you know, they have all of these organizations where you can find these empty spaces. They find you empty spaces that you can use as a gallery, be it for like your traditional 4 or 5 week opening, or even if it's for a weekend, right? I think that you know, making artwork and being an artist might not be the same thing. So you have to actually put yourself within the artist framework. Like you have to say, okay, I'm going to be good on deadlines, because making art, sometimes you could just be making art without no sort of time constraints, or, you know, you might not have to sort of necessarily adhere to this thematic sort of energy that the show has. But I think, you know, if you want to become an artist, even if you don't even have a show, you should be giving yourself some deadlines. Okay, let me try to make a piece within 4 weeks, within 3 weeks, right? So that you can get sort of comfortable, because deadlines is important. Deadlines is important because a lot of times, so many people want to be in a show, but they can't meet the deadline because especially if you're new, you don't have the experience of those deadlines, and you only get those experience if you wait to just be in a show. Then you might, you know, your muscle memory of sticking to that might not be developed. So create art within giving yourself some deadlines, and it's almost like it's like studying at home, right? Or it's like doing something where you are replicating the process of being in a show. Sometimes you got to replicate the process of being in a show. You got to think of a theme. You have to give yourself a deadline, and then when you have yourself a deadline, you should at least put that out into the world, whether it be on social media, whether you're old school texting your friends the work that you made, let them know that this was the theme, you know, so that they understand what the piece is about, you know, and then you know, just to give yourself like because I'm also a writer, right? So, you know, deadlines is crazy. It's important. It's really a thing, you know. So once you know, and one of the things when I first became a writer, I really wasn't, you know, a lot of times before I was a actual journalist writer, I could write with the leisure of, oh, I'll just finish it. But when you get a deadline, when you got an 11 a.m. deadline, it brings out, it makes you better. You know, it makes you better to have to be able to sort of, you know, as an artist, to pick a theme, create yourself a deadline. It's almost like replicating what you would do if you had a show, right? Make pick a theme, get yourself a deadline, make the piece, and then send it out into the world. Whether you have your own website, you know, social media has kind of negated the overall definitive need to have a website. I mean, I'm not trying to say you know, Squarespace is not great. But if you don't have a website and you do have social media, you know, it's ways that you can just use your social media as a platform to show your work. So I would say definitely be more collaborative. Get out of making art and transition into being an artist, which gives you sort of the practice that you need. And then also, I think, you know, making work and then sending it out to people, making sure that, you know, because if you send something one time to, let's say, a gallery and they don't reply, it's like, you know, it's not to say that you should stop. You know, keep making work, get out of just making art and try to transition into being an artist. And then when you finish with pieces, don't let it languish in your house. Because if you gave yourself a theme and then you put yourself on a deadline and you finish it by the deadline, then you got to follow through and send that out to whether it be the galleries, you know, because the last piece you sent or the last pieces that you sent, maybe those weren't the pieces that would spark a reply. But you have to keep sort of, you know, it's like if anything you want to do like that, whether you are an actor, you know, you go on auditions and, you know, you're not nailing, you know, instantly these roles. Like, you know, people have to go on auditions in what would seem to them like this endless parade of auditions, right? But then great audition, great role, they were good for the role, and then they get a call back, right? So I think as an artist, you have to go through the whole process of being an artist and then send it out to galleries, send it out to your friends, put it out into the public space. Because in the last show that the last one I did up in Pelham and Garden Art Center, I literally found two artists on the internet, on social media, right? I you know, because and they weren't even close. Like one was in California and one was in Thailand, right? So, you know, when you do all those things, and you put your work out there, you can't do the work and then you got to follow those to the end. You got to do all those things and then put it out there because the world is watching. All you have to do is use some hashtags, you know, hashtag artist, hashtag painter, hashtag, you know, looking for exhibitions, like all, you know, just think of all the hashtags that work. You know, you could also find out which hashtags are getting used a lot, and then put yourself. You just can't. I mean, like the internet has, even with music, the internet has created this ability to actually record music because then, like, it's the same thing with music. So you can't, you know, if you really want to make music, you got to do all those things as well, right? So as a visual artist, you can't let the lack of obvious attention and obvious doors obvious open doors stop you from actually not just making art, but turning yourself into an artist. And then again, that's a lot of practice because you got to get, you know, you need to make art. If you're going to be an artist, you got to keep making art, right? If your goal is to get into galleries, is to sell work, then you have to consistently work on getting better, you know, because it's technique can always be improved. you know, how you kind of approach the work, you know, all the things that you, like anything, sports, basketball players, those dudes practice all the time, right? They came into the league, 19 years old, they was good. But the great ones, they keep working at it. They're in the gym every day. They're putting up 500 shots a day, shooting foul free throws, like all the things. When you want to be something that is in that realm, you have to keep working at it. And again, give yourself, you know, the transition from the art, making art, to being an artist. So make it like you are an artist. You have to actually manifest what it is that you want to do. You have to be doing it. So yes, and I don't want to sound like Nike because they're not paying me, but just do it. You know, you got to just do it. You got to keep working on it. You got to give yourself these limitations so that you can learn to produce within the structure of something, within the structure of time, within the structure of size. Maybe the paint, like for this is a 10-inch, maybe, you know, so Cover Level Madness is 24 inches by 24 inches, you know, so to put yourself within the context of always making work as if you're in a show. And then once you finish that work, send it out. And, you know, it's no guarantee, you know, it's no guarantees, right, in anything. But you do want to increase your chances of being seen, of being found, of someone from a gallery, a curator, someone, you know, that, and it can start small. Like I like I know that Charlotte was in that show at the print shop, the corner print shop. So it's always these, you know, these sort of alternate spaces that you might not necessarily think of as directly like art based, you know. So if you have a local cafe that you go to and you always are, you know, spending $5 in coffee and you're there for 8 hours, right? Those people probably, like, if they let you stay there a lot like that, and they're not always asking you to buy more stuff, those people probably like you, right? So once you make some work, always take it to the places that you frequent. You know, if you have a cool hair salon that you go to and you have a good relationship with them, like always try to get your work also into alternate spaces, because eyeballs are eyeballs, and you never know where the sale will come. So I say definitely seek out alternative spaces to engage people with your work, but send it out. Make your you know, and collaborate with people as well, because collaborative effort is always a valuable tool, because, you know, you get multiple people working together, you can get something going on, and just become an artist. Get out of just making art and turn yourself into an artist with the practice of being an artist.
Dick, thank you so much. That was
I
great.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes, yes. I think it's important like that. Is, you know, you got to approach it as like, you know, and have the acceptance that if it doesn't work, it's not because you ain't really put that sweat equity into it. You didn't leave anything on the table. You left no reason why, you know, and, you know, if it just doesn't happen, you know what I mean? In your heart as an artist, doesn't mean you stop making art, right? Because the artist makes art, right? But you know that you left nothing to chance. Like, no one's gonna come to you and say, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't, you know, you don't have, you covered all your bases. And if you keep doing that and you keep doing that and try to get into alternate art spaces and, you know, get collaborative and, you know, turn yourself from making art into an artist, like with the practices and the deadlines and adhering to themes and sizes, then you give yourself the best chance.
Okay, Dick, there's one person who really wants you to answer her question. And her question is this. Early when you started speaking, you said, set yourself apart as an artist. And she wants to know, how do you do that? And kind of, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's like when it's almost like kind of like design touches in itself. If you have your work being known to do something, like it's like having a some sort of thing that you do, be it within the technique, whether it is within sort of how you sort of create the piece, like maybe you have like these particular motifs that you always use, something that when someone, because one of the cool things is that when someone, even if someone is, you can see someone's work on the internet and you might not even know who that artist is personally, but when you see their work on the internet, you can sometimes tell it's their work, right? You could tell that that's their thing, right? So if you, develop a thing, which not necessarily has to be so hit you over the head in a very sort of obvious way, but if you develop some things that are unique to how you create artwork, then I think that has a value to it as well, because, it's almost like it makes you stand out and it makes people take notice. And it's not always easy to do. It's kind of like it takes some repetitive work to figure out like the thing, like maybe like when you do like maybe how you lay down like a base on the canvas, like maybe in how you do shading, maybe you utilizing different sort of motifs within things that kind of stand out and kind of, but you can only figure that out with repetition. You got to keep doing things, and then once you figure out little things like, oh yeah, I really like that thing that I do, and then sort of incorporate that into your work, so it always has like this feel of like that's your piece, that you have a signature thing that you do. It's not always easy to develop, but I think it has value to it, because when you look at some of the the bigger artists, you can look at their work and automatically know it's them. Like you don't necessarily even have to see the name, you can tell it's their work. So try to develop that as a sort of something that help you set yourself apart.
Right. Again, thank you so much, Dick, for joining us. And I recommend
Yes.
that everybody follow Dick Burrows on Instagram. And please see his Cover Lover remix exhibit.
Yes.
It's touring, so it'll be in locations. If you follow him, you'll find out where it's going next, when, and so on.
And the website is coverloverremix.com. You can always go to the website and you can see work from past shows. Lisa had an incredible piece, which I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna, because I it's a 90s theme, but it's other side of the gallery that I might have an open era. Like, so the 90s era might be in the main room, then in the other one I might have an open era, like from any genre, any era. So yeah, so Lisa did a really great piece. Yeah, so you can go to coverloverremix.com, and the website will show you, you'll see stuff. And you can see the social media links as well. And I thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And send me the recording, please.
Absolutely.
All right, great. All right.
It'll be posted on YouTube, so
Okay.
you can share it and so on.
Shareable.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, great. All right. Thank
Great.
you.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Michael and Andrew, take it away. This was wonderful.
Yes, it was great. Yeah, the most important thing is just to keep going, keep moving, and keep creating.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially if you have a style that's your own, just keep working with it and then just make it something that is really something that stands out above everything else.
Yeah. Great advice.
Eventually, it'll catch on.
Yeah. Okay.
So now let's take a look at a quick video that Lisa has made of all of the artwork in the show.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone, this is like Michael said, a quick video of everything in the show. It's about 2 minutes long, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Here we go.
Awesome. Thank you
Excellent.
for putting that together.
I mean, everyone's interpretation of the color of skin is just so intriguing and complex. And some challenge the viewer, some comfort the viewer. You know, some are so familiar and some are almost shocking. And the diversity in this exhibit explains to me why it's such a popular exhibit. We've had such an incredible response to this virtual exhibition. It's because of the 78 artists who have contributed outstanding works to it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And going through all of these pieces that which is going to bring us to our next segment, which is the awards. This was a tough one.
So who's going to start the announcements?
Andrew, what did you think?
I think all the works are very great. And actually it took us a while to really decide entirely who should be in these positions. Is actually was really tough, even just trying to sort down all the works from, we had over 100 entries and then getting it down to this many. I want to thank and congratulate all the artists here for participating, showing us your work, and just wanted to let you know that you guys are extremely talented and just to keep pursuing your work, because this was a very hard decision to make and one that was really fun to go through.
It was. So let's get started with honorable mention, which is Ten's art, and that's by Barbara Ten, and I hope I say her last name right. Roque? Is she here?
Michael, I don't see her in the audience. But before you announce the next award recipient, if you are a reward recipient, please send us an email at insidesmall@outlook.com, because this year we are giving a small monetary prize to every award recipient.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was very beautiful work. Now I want to announce the third place winner. Third place is Nubian 7 Tasmanian Queen by Andrew Holloman. Is Andrew here with us?
I think he's here.
I don't see him in the audience.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, he
Oh,
is.
you're here.
He's
I
under
probably
Elliot.
have, I probably have something set up wrong, but I'm here. At least you can hear my voice.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, I wanted to ask about your work. What really inspired you with it in relation to this theme?
Well, actually, I have a series that I create on my page out on Singular Art, and it's called a Nubian series. Basically a Nubian series, and I locate subjects, muse subjects from across the globe, and the particular subject in this piece, and I apologize, the piece is a little bit larger than I'm hearing it should be, but is an artist from Tasmania, and her name is Kid Osborne, and she was going to try to be in this session. I don't know if she's out there, but at any rate, I focus on depicting women in different poses, denoting confidence, denoting being humble, denoting strife, with various skin color, to be quite basic. And I'm very pleased with how the series is turning out. I'm up to number 14. Kid Osborne was number 7. And I can't say enough about how I'm pleased with how I depicted the subject as well as her complexion and molded it into this finished piece. That's all I can say about that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for submitting it. And where could people find you if they want to reach out to you?
Well, you know, I posted something in the chat because of this. If I was on my phone, I could have literally posted a link to my Singular Art page, but I'm not on the phone and I didn't dare touch anything. But if they would go to Singular Art, SINGULART.com, and type in Andy Holloman, my stuff will show. Or easier, just Google me at Andrew Holloman, and you'll be inundated with stuff all over the place. And I think that's probably the best. Go
Andy,
ahead.
I just put the link in the chat to your artwork and to your winning artwork in the exhibit.
Cool.
People can click on that and see what you're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's how that's what I'll say about that, Andrew. And by the way, you have a wonderful first name. I think we share it.
Oh yeah, I could say the same for you. Thank you so much.
All right.
And Andrew, congratulations. I'm down here in Florida, and he's one of the artists that I know that actually entered down here. There's a lot of great art down here, just for people to know. So now we're on to second place. And second place is Life in Color, and that's by Raquel Malta. Is she here?
That I am.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you.
So second place. What was your inspiration for this? Was it a piece that you had made already, or and you thought, wow, this is like perfect for the show?
My inspiration was seeing that the show was happening. And knowing that this is my art thing that I do. This is my go-to how to paint. And I'm primarily a wildlife artist. People are always asking me if I paint anything else. And what I really love to be able to paint is living things. Because I think there is a lot of richness in it. And, you know, studying art, a lot of people will tell you it's not a foreign concept to look for those hues underneath the skin. But that rings true to me in a really heavy way. And I'm always fascinated by all of the colors that you can pick out in any person or any living thing. And the first things I always see are these beautiful shades of purple and blue and green. And I love to look for them, and to be able to share that interpretation is really special to me. And, you know, then I was just playing around with the concept, and I was letting it inspire me. And that also inspired me to put the secondary version of the figure behind it, because really that is what life is to me. It's the presence and absence of color and how much that changes. And I think I answered your question.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
work. Great work. And now Andrew is going to announce the first place.
And thank you guys again. I want to thank everyone for being here and just being a part of this experience with us. First place was one that really has blown each one of us away, and I'm really happy to announce it. It is Lost in Thought by Andrea Swenson. If she is on with us right now.
I don't see her in the audience. So why don't you do the People's Choice Award? Don't forget that.
No
we
problem.
We have one more. Yes, we have the People's Choice Award. So Andrew, you want me to do it? You want to do it?
You can do it. I believe in you.
I could do it. Okay. So the People's Choice Award is Synergism by Pam Grafstein.
Pam is in the audience. She'll just
She
need
is.
to unmute herself.
Okay.
Hi, that's me.
Hi, Pam. So
Thank you for the honor. I'm a little bit flabbergasted. Wow.
So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind your photograph.
The inspiration behind the photograph was to focus on the intricate details of those hands, which happened. I'm a teacher. This happened to be some of my students' hands. I like to concentrate on details and textures and composition, and so. But I love the colors, the different colors of their skin, and that's what drew me to the photograph, and thought it would be appropriate for this exhibit. But then I thought about it, and like, you know what, it doesn't matter what color their skin is, you can still capture the texture, and you can also still get meaning from the position of the hands, which I did thoughtfully with purpose, and that was to have it look like they're all sort of supporting one another and helping each other out. And the message sort of evolved into, I think we can all support one another and all help each other out, all be together, be one, no matter what color your skin is. And that's how it started to speak to me, and that's how I wanted to present it.
That's great. That's great. Well, congratulations. It's a beautiful piece. Everyone's work was great. It was wonderful to see how people interpreted the color of skin in their own way. There was many different ways, and I think there was no wrong way. So now we have. I think we have some more.
We're doing audience. So we have 3 audience prizes. The winners were selected randomly, and each one will win 2 free passes to the Palisades Climb Adventure. These were donated by the Palisades Climb Adventure. If you're one of the prize winners, please email us at insidesmall@outlook.com so we can mail you your free passes. And I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight, for supporting the arts, and for contributing to such an important exhibition. It's been wonderful. And stay tuned for the features on social media and YouTube of the individual artists. And also some of the artists have also done their own interviews that you can watch and learn from as well. So it's multi-layered, and this will go on until the end of April, this exhibition. And we will keep promoting it as well as featuring all the artists' works. So the 3 winners are, the first one is Franklin Silva. Second one is Trina Guyver. And the third one is Fran Newman McCarthy. So congratulations. Email us at insidesmall@outlook.com, and we will mail you those free passes. And Andrew and Michael, now it's you.
Well, this has been a wonderful evening, and it's been a lot of fun, and talking to some of the artists, that has been great. And as Lisa said, be sure to check out the artist interviews that are on social media, on the Instagram page and YouTube page. Andrew.
Yeah, and again, I want to congratulate all the artists for being here, and also all the winners, because your work was phenomenal, and hopefully it was also inspiring to other artists as well too. And I'm glad that we can create just a space where we can network and get to know each other and get to know more artists. One thing I value the most from this reception was being able to actually meet other artists and just seeing what kind of work that you guys make, because it really inspires me towards my own work as well.
That was
It
so
was really great to
said.
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
It was great to put faces with the artwork too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So good night, everybody. Please visit insidesmall.com, check out the artwork, visit us on social media, and enjoy really 2 months of great art in this exhibit.